Hi everyone, my name is Danielle. I am one of the admins for this channel, Mississippi Eventing, and I thought this would be a really good chance for me to talk to you a little bit about myself and my writing and what I'm bringing to this channel. So first of all, personally, my name is Danielle. I am 25, about to turn 26. I am a third year going on fourth year graduate student, and my research is on diversity in engineering and lots of diversity movements, specifically gender, but I'm trying to expand outside of that. And I am what's called an adult amateur writer. In this channel, whenever it's focused on me, I'm going to be talking mostly about my experiences as a writer, which are going to be talking about being an adult amateur, how I work to pay for the horses that I have, using, my work funds my horses rather than working horses professionally, which is why I'm an adult amateur. My experience is being a plus size rider, because I am also what's considered a plus size rider, as well as just my adventures and things that I enjoy. For my writing background, I've been writing for around 14 years now. I started off at Western, actually. I did a summer writing camp, which was like a 2-week intensive camp doing Western lessons. And then I did Western lessons for about a year, and I'm not even sure how many I took in that year. That was a really long time ago for me. But I've been writing English for the past 13 years, specifically mostly dressage and kind of just goofing around a little bit. I've never done any recognized showing. I have done jumping rounds up to 2'6", I believe. I've jumped up to around 2'9" to 2'11". In dressage, I've actually competed through training level 3, I want to say, maybe training level 4. And again, those were all just schooling shows. We didn't really have the money for me to do anything professional, so a lot of times I was just going to little schooling shows around, and then in between I do lots of trail rides and just fun rides and those kinds of things. I own 2 horses. One I already have a video on here already. Her name is Misty. She's my 4-year-old that I adopted from a rescue a year ago. It was a rescue in Kentucky that they looked to have some nice horses. So I got approved by them, drove up literally 2 days later with the other admin of this channel, Hannah. Her and I drove up to Kentucky. They showed me 7 horses within an hour. I went and we were sitting down at a table eating dinner, and I bought everyone's dinner because we had another friend with us. I bought everyone dinner for coming with me, and we sat down and narrowed it down and eventually chose her. Her name was Echo, now it's Misty, and she at that point was 3, now she's 4. She was a 3-year-old warm blood cross that had the most work underneath her. I was told she was walk, trot, canter and had been on lots of trail rides, and so next day, literally did not ride her, only saw her lunge, didn't even see her be ridden, loaded her on the trailer, and we drove the 8 hours back down to where I am in Mississippi. So that's how I got her, and then I actually kind of went back to the beginning with her training and spent a month or so just lunging, and then I took her to my trainer's place, put her under saddle, started doing the walk trot work, and then we waited a couple of months till we reintroduced the canter, just because some of her buttons were missing. She would go if you really kicked her and really pushed her, but then if she got going, she wouldn't stop, and her steering was not quite there. And so I believed they took her on trail rides and did lots of walk, trot, canter, but in terms of dressage and control and small spaces, it wasn't really there. And many times in my arena, which we don't have a solid fence around, she would bow her shoulder out and try to run off with me. So I did lots and lots and lots of lower level work. Plus she was only 3, so I felt no need to push her. We started jumping in the spring as she was turning 4. Now we've jumped up to around 2'6", I want to say. We've done cross country schooling, and I took her to her first combined training test in May, where we did a 12-inch class, and we got second place. Our dressage score was a 61%, which I'd have to do the math, so I think it's a 39 penalty points with absolutely no issues on the cross country course. In fact, she got really excited out there. And so with her, I'm going to be trying to do recognized events next spring, and this fall I'm going to be focusing mostly on training more and lots of clinics and really getting that foundation established. And I don't really care to event her at anything recognized until she's closer to 5, which is why we're looking at the spring. My second horse, because I do own two, even though this is probably going to mostly feature Misty, does not mean I love Misty more. I love her and my other one equally, probably. I don't know. My other one I might even love more. Her name is Hollywood. I've owned her for 11 years, so she just turned 19. And the reason she won't be featured as much is because she's right now half leased out and also gives lessons a couple times a week. So she's being used as like a walk trot learning pony right now, and I don't get to ride her as much. But she is my heart. I love her to bits. A lot of the clips I have of her are really old, or like a lot of our ride times I never even got videoed because I was in college and just riding when I could. But she is like the perfect pony, other than the fact that she's got arthritis and is old. But she still can jump. She can still jump up to around 2'9". She still knows lots of leg yields. I can get on her and do a dressage test in a blink. She's got her little bit of weird quirk. She's a little bit quick. She's a little bit overly sensitive sometimes, and she doesn't exactly like contact. Her mouth gets a little bit too sensitive. But she is, as I said, like the love of my life. I got her when she was 8 and I was 14, and now I'm about to turn 26 and she just turned 19. Like, we are best friends. That's the horse I'll get on and hop on bareback and bridleless and just ride around and do whatever I want with. But she probably won't be on this channel as often because, as I said, I'm not riding her as much. She's mostly enjoying the semi-retired life, and I get on her just to school her a little bit every once in a while, or just for fun. And also, anytime I do a trail ride video, she'll probably be on that one, because usually I'll take someone and put them on either Misty or Hollywood and go for a trail ride together, which is the benefit of having two horses. So yeah, that's pretty much my experience. A lot of times, a lot of people might be asking what this channel is for, and I'm going to go ahead and say it's not an advice channel. We're not really a training channel. It's just kind of a want to see what we're doing kind of channel. A lot of times we'll be talking about the adventures we're having, me and Hannah both, and like her and I are going to have, we have very similar backgrounds but very different perspectives on training and, you know, goals. And she wants to become a professional rider, so she's really pushing hard to meet those goals, versus I'm kind of happy being an adult amateur, and I'm enjoying riding my 4-year-old. She's got a little bit older horses that she can push a little harder. So yeah, it's gonna be two very, very different perspectives on the riding world coming from one channel and our adventures together. Hannah and I have been riding together for actually, I think, 13 years. So yeah, it'll be a little bit of that perspective as well. Just us having fun with our ponies while also trying to get better day by day. And that's what it's about, is trying to grow. That being said, if you ever have any questions, we can try and offer you advice. Hannah's advice is going to be more of the professional perspective. Mine, again, is going to always be adult amateur perspective. But pretty much the number one advice I'll always give everyone is to get a trainer you trust and ask them questions. And if you ever need help picking out a trainer, that is something that I think is a big question in the riding world, and maybe we'll make a video on that in the future, like how to pick out a trainer, what to look for. But anyway, yeah, thanks for coming to our channel. We really look forward to helping, to showing our lives and how we're trying to event in Mississippi, which doesn't have very much. So yeah, thanks for stopping by. Hope to see y'all in the future. Bye.